Shalom, Israel, shalom. Peace and blessings to the 12 tribes scattered abroad, far and near. And as always, want to say, call Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rekah, Kadash. It's all praises to the Heavenly Father, the name of His only begotten Son, to the Holy Spirit. I want to give double honors and salutations to the elders and leaders of the nation of Israel that push this truth and sincerity. I also want to say shalom to the 1/3, that great multitude that consists of the men, women, and children of Israel that believe wholeheartedly on the scriptures. I want to say shalom to you. All right. I titled this lesson, Be Not Deceived, Keep Your Eye on Prophecy. All right. Because there's a lot, as you can see, that's going on. A whole lot of things that's happening in these last days. And the only way you won't be deceived is by focusing on what prophecy says. Okay. We in a time of great evils that's on this earth. The beginning of sorrows, much more evils are coming up on this earth that's pertaining to prophecy. But we're also in a time of great delusions, great psyops, okay, a high level of sorcery, witchcraft, and spiritual warfare on the highest level, because we're closest to the end of this kingdom, and where the return of Yahushua is at the door. All right, so that will be mass deception. We're in a time of mass deception like never before. Okay, and the Bible pertaining to prophecy, a lot of people will be deceived. The majority, in fact, the Bible tells you everyone is going to be deceived except for the very elect. All right, so what we have to remember moving forward, don't fall for these things that sit up to invoke emotion, get a reaction or emotion, or influence you enough to where it takes you out of the spirit. You have to keep your eye on prophecy, not your emotions or what's going on in the world, but what does the Bible, what does prophecy say about what's going on in the world? All right. Let's start it off. Ephesians 5:15. Let me get that. It says, see then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. So circumspectly is to be aware, know what's going on, know what time that we're living in, know that we're in the last days pertaining to prophecy. Redeeming the time, because the days are evil. These are some very evil, perilous times, days that we're living in. All right. 2 Timothy 3:1. It says, this know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. Okay, we know we're in the last days pertaining to the prophecy, so it's letting us know perilous times are going to come. Let's look up this word, perilous. It says hard to do, to take, to approach, hard to bear, troublesome, dangerous, harsh, fierce, savage. So some very troublesome, dangerous, harsh, fierce, savage times or days that we're in right now. All right. Matthew 24:12. It says, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many will wax cold. Now, iniquity is going into sin, wickedness. So it's letting us know it's going to be abounding in these last days, meaning everywhere. It's going to be an increase of sin or wickedness like never before. And that's exactly what we're seeing play out in the earth right now. The closer we get to the end of this kingdom and the return of Yahushua, evil and wickedness will increase like never before. Okay, there's always been evil in the world, but nowhere near to the degree that we're going to start seeing in these last days. More horrific, demonic, perversion type acts. are going to be carried out everywhere, because basically it's going into mass demonic possessions. Okay, the majority of the earth is in darkness. The whole world is in darkness outside of the elect. Therefore, what? Their bodies are open hosts for demonic spirits. All right. Let me read that again. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many will wax cold. All right. Let's go to the blue letter again. Let's look at iniquity. It says the condition of without law, because ignorant of it, because of violating it, contempt and violation of law, iniquity, wickedness, condition of without law, ignorant of any type of law. So in this case, this will be the word of the Lord. These people, this world does not have the spirit of the Lord. They do not have no type of word. No type of word of the Lord serves as what? Correction. Okay, discernment. Okay, so this world is void of that. No direction or spiritual insight whatsoever. So without that, the closer we get to the end, people are going to be overtaken with their emotions. They're going to be overtaken, fully possessed with demonic fallen spirits. Okay, this is what's starting to play out more frequently. That's why the world, or the people of this world, starting to become more like reprobating than ever. All right, this is Revelations 18:1. After these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried with a mighty strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and become the habitation of devils, and the hole of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. So as this place, as Babylon falls, the world economies collapse. Okay, this current system pass away. Okay, that is going to become the habitation of more and more demonic, fallen, cold, harsh spirits. Okay, that's going into the desolation too. Okay, once the Lord fully, this, what the Bible refers to Armageddon. Okay, the missiles come, it's not going to be inhabited anymore. But even right now, that's in a spiritual sense. As this falls, and it's becoming nothing but a habitation for devils, showing you unclean, foul spirits. All right. 2 Timothy 3:13. It says, evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. See? So waxing worse and worse is becoming more colder, more wickeder. Okay, going back, I forgot to point it out, but Matthew 24 and 12, when we was reading, when it talks about because iniquity shall abound, the love of many will wax cold. That word cold in the Greek goes into psycho. Okay, so that's what we're seeing. More people are waxing worse, because of this place fall is just becoming a big portal, a big one demonic habitation for unclean, wicked spirits. All right. Let's get some examples. All right. Play a couple of these videos. This was, I believe, about a week ago in Dallas. Just an example when the Bible talk about a love waxing worse or growing cold. You start hearing more stories like
Let's move now to the latest in another breaking story we've been following all day long. Also a tragic one. A witness just told us a man was running for his life before a suspect beheaded him with a machete.
This story is extremely disturbing, and we need to warn you that some of the details you're going to hear may not be appropriate for young viewers. This all happened this morning in the parking lot of an East Dallas motel just off I-30 near Samuel Grand Park. Our Cole Sullivan has been on the scene since minutes after the attack. Cole, police tell us they do have a suspect in custody here.
And Dia, they arrested that suspect just about a block from where I'm standing up the road here. We saw a machete on the ground in the parking lot where they arrested that person. But the attack happened here at the downtown suites. It unfolded just after 9:30 this morning, police say. And this is the scene earlier today when police arrived here on scene. A witness I talked to said this was an argument that started out loud between two men in the parking lot of the motel when one of the people, the suspect, went inside a motel room and came back out with a machete and began slashing the other man. That victim started running for his life, the witness says, and nearly made it to the motel office before he slipped and fell, and the suspect caught up with him.
That's when he got over on the top of him, and then he hit him again, hit him on the foot. Then he trying to split. He was going to go vertical, and he was going to try to split his head. But I guess he changed his mind on that, and then he started just whacking at his neck.
That witness, who did not want her face shown, says that she believes that the suspect hit the victim more than 50 times with the machete. Police say that he died here on scene, and the witness says the suspect never said anything throughout that attack. Dia.
Cole, what do we know about how police were able to catch the suspect?
Police gave a little bit of information at a briefing earlier this afternoon. They say that they were able to get that suspect because they had officers already in this area proactively patrolling. They were on scene within minutes. They arrested him, as I said, about a block from where this attack unfolded. They say, a witness I talked to say that they drove past just before that happened and saw a man who appeared to have blood on him in the parking lot of a beer mart just up the road. Police say that they haven't released the name, I should say, of that suspect yet, but police say they expect to bring serious charges, as you would imagine, against him. Dia.
All right, our Cole Sullivan reporting for us live on another tragic situation today.
Okay, and I like to say another tragic situation where the Bible let us know things that were almost unheard of at one point. Okay, so the more horrific, hideous type of crime or evil, these things are going to be occurring on like a daily basis. Okay, frequently, all the time. They're going to get so often. Basically what they're trying to do, and I'm about to transition the lesson a little bit, look at that we're in a time basically where they're trying to normalize what it is to see murder. They're trying to desensitize the powers that be. Okay, this is why a lot of things that's happening now, even what we just looked at, the guy beheaded, cut somebody's head off in broad daylight. Okay, but these videos are starting to be up on YouTube, social media. In the past, they would take stuff like that down. Okay, just like this Charlie Kirk guy, they got shot in the neck or whatever last week. Why are they leaving these videos up so long? Okay, because that's the time that we're in. Okay, they're trying to create an atmosphere for wickedness. Okay, it's for nothing for you to see death, nothing for you to see suffering. Okay, we already live in a time where somebody's suffering, somebody could be getting murdered right in front of somebody's face. Instead of calling 911, they pull out a phone and start recording. Okay, everybody trying to go viral. Everybody trying to get likes and followers. Okay, even if it's at the expense of recording somebody else's death. Okay, well, that is the world that we're in, and it's only becoming more and more wickeder. Okay, let me get this real quick. Let me read this again. 2 Timothy 3:1, it says, know also that in the last days peerless times shall come. Okay, we looked at that word peerless. Very troublesome, harsh, evil times. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemous, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, inconsistent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God. See, don't care about what's right anymore. It's not a righteous spirit over this earth. Everybody is for their own cause, their own reason. Lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God. We living in a time where debts, executions be televised publicly, okay, left up on the internet for the world to see. Like I said, if it gets me a like, if it gets me more subscribers, that's the insatiable appetite of the people right now, okay? The people thirst for blood, all right? But it all stems down from the top. It lets you know we're living in a wicked world when the rulers crave blood and envy and evil, okay? That's how the people gonna be. All right, let me get that precept. Sirach 10 and 2. As the judge of the people is himself, the judge is the ruler, the leader, your officials, your president, the powers that be. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officials. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, are all they that dwell therein. So things trickle down. A righteous society, a righteous government, okay? The people are going to be righteous because that's what's going to be pushed up on them. That's what's going to be promoted. In a wicked society, okay, you're going to have wickedness that's being influenced. Verse 3, an unwise king destroyed his people, but through prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. All right. So a reflection of what you see in the world is simply just, it's a reflection that trickles down from top. Okay, the powers that be, it lets you know what Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Okay, so as they say in the world of business, a corporation, ish run downhill. Okay, start at the top. You want to get a good idea of why things are. Hey, look at the leader. Look at the people that's running it. And that's everything from a household to a congregation to a company to a society. Okay. Second Ezra 14 and 15. It says, verse 15, set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and hasten thee to flee from these times. So the thoughts that are more heavy than you is your own carnal understanding, your thinking, things pertaining to this world outside of prophecy, okay, that don't have nothing to do with the Lord. It could be your bills, how you gonna make it, okay, set all of that to the side. You have to understand what time we're in. Verse 16, for yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter. For look, how much the world shall be weaker through age, so much the more shall evils increase upon them that dwell therein. See, so the world being weaker through age, it lets you know what time we're in, lets you know we're at the end of this age. So the closer we get to the end of this age, the more evils will increase. Verse 18, for the time is fled away and leasing is hard at hand. Leasing goes into lies and deception. Okay, like what we about to look at also, okay, these psychological warfare that's being waged on the people. Okay, some of these things and people are just, a lot of these people are actors, which they put on your television. Okay, they're actors and they're following a script or role. Okay, when you use a lot of these things that you see play out on television or the media put out there and the whole world fall for, oh, that was so sad. That was so evil. It is to invoke an emotion. That's what the Bible goes into when it talks about the deception, great deception and miracles. Okay, for the time is fled away and leasing is hard at hand. For now hasten the vision to come, which thou hast seen. Okay, so much more evils instead of increasing, but also leasing is at hand. Lots of lies and deception playing out at the same time. All right, so you're going to be confused or not know which way to look. You're not going to know what is true from false, what is real and fake. Okay, unless you led according to the Spirit and you focus on prophecy. We know it's going to be great evils everywhere because the Bible letting us know it's going to be great evils. All right. 2 Ezra 15:14. It says, woe to the world Okay, woe is trouble, destruction, woe unto the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction draw nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another with swords in their hands. People fighting against another. That's also the time that we're moving in. That's why everything and everyone is divided and split on every level, whether it be from politics, okay, social status, income, race, gender, okay, political. Every aspect of society is a spirit of division. Okay, they're pushing the spirit of this vision. That's why they're racializing everything. The story, and some play on the media, is always a racial twist. Okay, coming from both sides. For the world and their destruction draw nigh, when people shall stand up to fight against another with swords in their hand. For there shall be sedition among men. Okay, sedition goes into like speech, anything that's trying to entice or provoke, like a riot, a rebellion, a civil war. Okay, this is what we're starting to see a lot of too. A lot of these people that sit up on the media, television, these news anchors or political figures, the speech is starting to become more radical. Okay, more. Why would they say something like that? Why does it sound like they're speaking in code? Sound like they're trying to invoke something. Okay, because they are. That's the spirit that's out right now. Okay, let me read that again. It says, verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings or their princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their own power. Okay, a lot of people are going to take matters into their own hand. The more people get desperate, whether it's inflation, prices, people can't afford to, live, rent, food, groceries or whatever. Eventually, people starting to reach breaking points, and you see this playing out across the world. Okay, France, what's going on right there with their government. Okay, Venezuela, the UK in general. Okay, so it's just a matter of time. But pertaining to prophecy, okay, we're only telling you what's going to happen according to the scriptures. Okay, this is what it's building up to. All right, let me play this real quick. Let me read. Let me read verse 16 again. I'm gonna play this video. It says, "For there shall be sedition among men, invading one another." Okay, and let's get the definition of sedition. Sedition, conduct or speech inciting people to rebel against the authority of a state or monarch. Also, provocation, inflaming, rebellion, revolt, insurrection, rioting. Okay, so we get the gist of it. Sedition, any type of speech that's trying to entice or influence somebody to revolt, rebel, okay, raise up. So now, I want to play this video. Okay, this was on some type of Fox News channel, okay, but in front of millions of people. But just listen. These are supposed to be professionals. Listen to the speech. Listen to what they're saying.
Camping is such an adventure. I love how there's a surprise around every corner.
They have given billions of dollars to mental health and the homeless population. A lot of them don't want to take the programs. A lot of them don't want to get the help that is necessary. You can't give them a choice. Either you take the resources that we're going to give you, or you decide that you're going to be locked up in jail. That's the way it has to be now.
Or involuntary lethal injection or something. Just kill them.
Hey, Brian.
Something. Just kill them.
Hey, Brian.
I cannot believe that we just witnessed Brian Kilmeade call for the execution of American citizens because they are homeless. Because they're homeless or have a mental health issue. Instead of getting help, he says just kill them. Just kill them, is his words, in front of millions of people. They are pushing for chaos like you've never seen. It's being done through the powers that be, right in front of your face. And all the stuff that's going down around us is manufactured and made to put.
All right, I'm going to stop it right there, but I'm going to play the beginning of that one more time. But like I say, this is in front of millions of people, but you see how the spirits are changing, okay? The speech is more radical, okay? The more heartless, like we read, waxing cold, okay? Back it up one more time.
They have given billions of dollars to mental health and the homeless population. A lot of them don't want to take the programs. A lot of them don't want to get the help that is necessary. You can't give them a choice. Either you take the resources that we're going to give you, or you decide that you got to be locked up in jail. That's the way it has to be now.
Or involuntary lethal injection or something. Just kill them. Something. Just kill them.
I cannot believe.
All right, so this is the talk that you're starting to hear now, okay, on national television amongst politicians, okay, popular political figures, okay, so, but it's all pertaining to prophecy. We just read all these scriptures. That's the spirit that's coming up on this world, okay, totally heartless, coldless, because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. All right, let me play another one. Okay, this is the guy. One moment.
I'm sorry.
The guy who I keep forgetting this dude's name. The Charlie Kirk guy, whatever his name is. Okay, this was I guess a couple of years ago, but he's on a podcast or interview, and it's just listen to the conversation that they're having. Okay, just listen. I'm gonna kind of fast forward through this and stop it. But
destroy the constitutional order, that should be under consideration.
You know, I thought that's what you.
The problem with death penalty takes too long, too many
Too
appeals.
expensive.
It should be public, it should be quick, it should be televised.
Okay, so the answer is it does get fucking crazy, but at least now.
all right, play that again.
The last execution in France was guillotine in 1977.
100% true. They used the guillotine.
Until
the whole way.
77?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
There's videotape of it.
You know, I don't know if I'm just getting fucking older.
I'm just skipping through this guy's commentaries. He trying to be funny with a lot of stuff.
It's like what we should be doing.
Oh, for fuck's sakes.
And I agree. It should be public
And
should be public
televised.
square.
By the way, you could fund
Force
the
kids
government
to watch it.
What the fuck?
So he's talking about public executions, okay? It should be quick. It should be public, okay, for the world to see, all right?
Yeah, you're gonna have to fucking run that one by me again. Holy shit.
Force
the
kids
government
to watch it.
The fuck is wrong with you?
Could have like brought to you by Coca-Cola. And no, I'm not kidding. By the way, I would totally tune into. And you know what? I want to watch that execution. That'll make my day better. I want to see him on a public block and get him be publicly executed.
I mean, that's just fucking sick.
Okay, that's sick, but that's the norm. That's going to become the norm in these last days. Okay, gladiator days, ancient Rome all over again. Okay, they would put people, gladiators in the Colosseum and watch them, lions eat them for entertainment. Okay, this is the modern day example of that stuff coming back. Okay, public executions. This person did what? They put the story or whatever, play it, spin it on the media to get the support of the people. Oh, this is a horrible person. They did what? They deserve to die. So now they're normalizing that spirit of, look, everybody come watch. This evil person, this mean, this creep get put to death, get executed because he deserves it. Okay? That's the spirit that's being pushed up on this earth. That's the spirit that will be on this earth. And I ain't gonna say will be, it's pretty much here. All right?
Just fucking disgrace. disgracefully sick in.
You should see. What is the age? At what age should you start to see public executions?
16. I think you could do it earlier. I think you maybe at age 12, whenever 6th grade or so.
All right, that's enough of the fucking most insane.
Okay, so that's the gist of it. But what's so ironic about it? See, the Lord is not mocked. Now, this is the same man. What the world witnesses execution. Okay, so hey, but the point. The main point, okay, is that's the spirit that's in this world, on this earth right now. That's where we're going as a world, as a society, okay, pertaining to prophecy. This is what the Bible is talking about. These scriptures we read, the sedition among man, the man fighting against man, every man against his neighbor. This is not only going to happen, it's being pushed and promoted. All right. And this is why we say keep your eye on prophecy, because anybody could present anything. OK, they could spin any story, put anything in front of your face. No, you don't. You don't have a reaction based off a story or what somebody is presenting to you. OK, we move or we react according to the word of the Lord. OK, but the world is going to fall for this. OK, you got a majority of the world sitting back rooting. They do it now. Like you say, somebody be getting murdered. People don't call the average person, pull out their phone and start recording. Okay, so they already shaped the average person's mind to accept this. Okay, that's what's next. Public executions, okay? National, tell everybody the world is watching it like it's normal. All right. 2nd Ezra 5:1. Nevertheless, as coming the tokens, behold, the days shall come that they which dwell on the earth shall be taken in great number. Okay, that's great death through judgment, whether it be sword, pestilence, famine, wars. And the way of truth shall be hidden. Why? Because truth is being suppressed. Truth is really about to be suppressed soon, because the internet is going to be taken away. TikTok ban. A lot of the way truth and information get out is via internet. Okay, a lot of wickedness comes out, but the Lord is about balance. He's also He's allowed a lot of truth to go out as well. Okay, such as these teachings, the word of the Lord. Okay, conscious people all over. Okay, but soon that's going to be taken away. The days shall come that they which dwell on the earth shall be taken in great number, and the way of truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith. Because the more evil increase on this earth, the more people is going to lose their faith. Majority of people losing their faith now. Okay, you see all these job loss, layoffs, the prices of life, just hard. People can't afford to live anymore. So that's already breaking a lot of people's faith. A lot of people don't believe, well, God, why is you allowing this to happen? We should have been raptured up out of here already. There ain't no God, man. Why are we suffering like this? So the closer we get to the end, the more hell and judgment come up on this earth, the more people are going to lose their faith. All right. That's why the Lord said, let me get this real quick. Come right back. I think it's Luke 18:8. He said, I tell you that he will avenge them speedily. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on the earth? See, because by the time the Lord get here, the majority of the earth is not going to have faith. Why? Because the tribulation things are only going to become worse before it gets better. Therefore, most people are going to turn away from the Lord, because they're not going to be able to, they didn't prepare spiritually, shall I say. Another example of that, Matthew 24:43. I'm sorry, 46. It says, blessed that servant who his Lord, when he cometh, shall find him doing. Okay, the person that still has faith, that's still serving the Lord, seeking the Lord. Verily I say unto you, he shall make him ruler over all his goods. And if that servant shall say in his heart, my Lord delayed his coming, and shall begin to smite his fellow servants, and eat and drink with the drunkards, then the Lord of that servant shall come in a day when he looketh not for him, and in an hour that he is not aware, and shall cut him asunder and appoint him his portion with the hypocrites. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Okay, so the one who holds on to the faith is going to be okay. But you're going to have a majority who, what, like we just read in verse 48. And if that evil servant shall say in his heart, my Lord delayed his coming, and shall begin to smite his fellow servant and eat and drink with the drunkards. So the average person is going to fall away. They're going to go back to the ways of the world. When they say he begin to beat his fellow servant, what? Their love is going to wax cold. Whatever I got to do. Okay, going to start to rob, kill, steal, take from their neighbor. Okay, they're going to lose faith and fall just like the rest of the world. See? Going back to 2nd Ezra 5 again. I'm at the end of verse 5. Again, it says, and the way of truth shall be hidden. I'm sorry, the end of verse 1. It says, and the way of truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith. See, the closer we get to the end, it ain't only the elect is going to still be able to keep the faith. Verse 2, but iniquity shall be increased above that which thou seest, or that thou have heard long ago. See, iniquity is only going to increase. And the land that thou seest now have root, shall thou see suddenly wasted. All right. 2nd Ezra 13 and 31. It says, and one shall undertake to fight against another. One city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another. That's everything from race wars to civil wars to political wars to spiritual warfare. Okay, fourth heaven merging with the third. All right, it's just showing you the vibration of the spirit or the time that we're in right now. 2nd Ezra, what is it? 16, 17 says, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? So the prophet Ezra is seeing himself here in this time, okay, in these last days, and the Lord is showing him what basically Jacob's trouble. He's showing him how bad this earth is going to get. So he's saying, Lord, who's going to deliver me in those days? Same question we should be asking the Lord. Lord, we're looking to be saved. We're looking to be delivered. Verse 18, the beginning of sorrows and great mourning, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. And what shall I do when these evils shall come? Okay, so great evils is the time of this world right now. Okay, and only increasing. So all the more reason that we have to make sure we keep our eye on prophecy. Don't get distracted with the, stories, what the media is saying. Don't get your emotions involved. Okay, everything's going to be racial or division, and don't fall for none of that stuff. Okay, the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty to Yahweh, to the pulling down of strongholds. We fight spiritually. Okay, so you keep ourselves, protect your emotions, your energy. You put that energy into the Lord. Okay, what does the Lord say about that? I hear what the news saying, I hear what the media, I hear what everybody on social media is saying, but no, let me go to the Bible. What the Lord say about this? Okay, have to keep your eye on prophecy. If not, you will be deceived. Revelations 13:14. And he deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, and that had been wounded by the sword and did live. Okay, those miracles go in everything from Esau's technology, his AI, artificial intelligence, to just even his media. Okay, the word media goes into sorcery. Okay, a lot of these people, they dress up in a suit, they give them a sad story, they make cry, tell a story, and what is that designed to do? That's to invoke the emotions of the public, to get them to feel or react a certain way. Okay, well, we can't fall for that. We fall for it. Once again, what does prophecy say? Okay, if not, you will be deceived. All right, there's a spirit of deception. The Lord is going to allow the world to be deceived, because ultimately the Lord is the one bringing the deception. All right. Isaiah 66:4 to back that up. It says, I also will choose their delusion. See that? I will bring their fears upon them, because when I called, none did answer. When I spake, they did not hear, but they did evil before my eyes and choose that which I delighted not. Okay, so the Lord is going to allow the spirit of deception on those that didn't seek him. Okay, they're going to believe whatever the trend, whatever the world, whatever the devil presents before them. Okay, they're going to fall for it. 2 Thessalonians 2:8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, who the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power, signs, and lying wonders. Okay, because the powers that be, he saw Edom, what is, he comes in, it lets us know his working. This man comes in the name of Satan. Okay, these lies, these deceptions, once again, used to what? His technology, his media. You cannot let that determine the course of action for your life. You cannot let that control your emotions. You have to be led of the Spirit. Look at verse 10. And with all deceivableness of unrighteous in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they may be saved. Verse 11. For this cause God shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie. So who's sending the delusion? God. See that? Because you didn't want the truth. Because when prophecy was coming out, you didn't take the time to listen, to learn prophecy. Okay, well, the Lord left you to your devices. You don't want to listen to me? Okay, I'll let you listen to the media. You listen to the world. You listen to the lies or the vibration, the spirit that's over the earth right now. See? And I guess I'll get ready to end this one off. Let's finish off Daniel 12:10. It says, many shall be purified and made white. Okay, that's through repentance. Okay, accepting the Lord, Yahweh's sacrifice, believing on his covenant, the new covenant. Okay, that should be purified. And many shall be purified and made white and tried, but the wicked shall do wickedly. Okay, they're going to wax worse and worse, in other words. And none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. Why the wicked not going to understand? Because we just read it. They're going to be turned over to the spirit of deception. Great deception, those illusions, because they didn't want the truth. See? So the righteous are going to understand why. Because of prophecy, that pertaining to prophecy. The wicked not, because they ignore prophecy, the word of the Lord. So what? They under the deception. Matthew 24:22. No. 24 is what I want. This is Matthew 24:24. It says, there shall arise false Mashiachs and false prophets, which shall show great signs and wonders, and as much that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect, if it was possible. Okay? And those false Christs is just deeper than religious leaders. Okay? That's a sign of just miracles in general. Okay? Miracles through the technology, that media, that information, showing you certain things that look, remember, AI can make anything look real. Okay? I'll just say it like that. So that's a form that would be considered a form of a miracle. Anything that makes you think it's a way out or a way of salvation. Okay, Yahweh Shai is our salvation. But this man is going to come in the form of salvation through his miracles. So when it say false Christ, understand that's also what it's talking about. Okay, no technology, no other way, no preparation. Nothing is going to act as your savior in these last days to save you outside of turning to the Lord. All right. So once again, don't fall for the deception. Keep your eye on prophecy. All right. So with that, I'm going to say shalom. Till next time, we out.